Hi, I want to tell you something that I see happen over and over with writers who come to me. They have an idea, a real one, a good one, not a vague, someday maybe idea, but a genuine, persistent, this won't leave me alone idea. A book, nonfiction or a novel, an article, an essay, a short story. They know they're meant to write. And they've been carrying this sometimes for years, wondering when will the time be right? When can I find the time? Do I have what it takes? Where in the world do I even begin? Or if I've begun months or years ago, where do I pick it up? If that sounds like you, I've made courses for exactly that dilemma. I'm Dr. Gwyn Erwin, contemporary and developmental psychoanalyst, writing coach and author of decades. And today I want to walk you through the 3-course writing journey I've designed to take you from that first spark of an idea, or from being completely stuck or waylaid, all the way through to a finished, publishable manuscript. Let me show you what that path looks like. Before I describe the courses, I want to tell you something about how I approach writing instruction, because it's different from what you might find elsewhere. I've been in practice for over 30 years. My work spans human development from birth throughout the entire lifespan. And I specialize in unresolved trauma, which means I have spent decades working with people who carry things inside them that were never given words. What I've learned in that time is that the reason most people struggle to write isn't really about craft, even though they may have been told that. It's not about grammar. It's not even about finding the right words. It's about the inner world of the writer, the self-doubt, the inner critic, the profound fear that your story isn't worth telling, or that you'll never be able to get it out of your head and onto the page. In psychoanalytic terms, we call these defenses, and they are formidable. So everything I teach about writing is designed to work with that inner world, not around it. So everything I teach, every framework, every exercise, every piece of instruction is designed with that in mind, to give you not just the craft tools, but the inner architecture to actually finish what you start. Let me start with nonfiction. You have expertise, you have a story, you have wisdom that may have taken years to develop, many decades to accumulate, and you want to share it. But every time you sit down to write, it turns into this overwhelming pile of everything you know and can't find the shape for. That's exactly what designing your nonfiction book addresses. I always tell students, don't build the airplane while you're flying it. You need the architecture first. This course walks you through designing your book before you write a single chapter or a single word. You'll clarify your central transformation, the one your readers will be able to understand or feel differently about after reading your book. You'll create an architecture that guides your reader through that transformation from beginning to end, and you'll have the invaluable blueprint to follow so that when you sit down to write, you know exactly what you're building. The writing gets easier when you're building. That's not just advice, that's neuroscience. Now, for fiction writers Fiction has its own particular kind of magic and its own particular brand of paralysis. You have characters in your head who feel as real as the people you actually know. You have imagined a world, a conflict, a voice. But turning that into a coherent, compelling story, that's where so many writers get stuck. Designing your fiction work is your structural companion. We work through characters, who your protagonist really is, what they need, what they're afraid of. The antagonist, your catalyst characters, your supporting characters. Not as a plot, not a rigid formula, but as a living character architecture where your characters drive your story and surprise you. And we work through the design of your story world so that the setting isn't just a backdrop. It is part of the story itself. I want to say something about structure and creativity, because I know some of you worry that a framework will box you in. Most outlines do. They may give you a structured path, but they tend to trap you. And design work with your writing is not like that. It's a launching pad. After teaching writers for many years, designing your work is the exact opposite of rigid structure. It doesn't constrain your creativity. It employs it and enhances it. Now, what I'm working on right now, and I'm so excited about this because this is a process that I created decades ago that I have used with hundreds of writers. And it is called Drafting Your Writing to Publication. I want to share a little bit about it with you today because I'm in the midst of creating this as my next online course, which will be out sometime this year. Here's the gap I see. Writers would finish designing their book. They have a solid architecture. They're ready to write. They've done maybe a lot of writing scattered here and there. They've got research. They've got documentation. They've got vignettes. They've got all kinds of material, perhaps, or the blank screen. And they get partway through the draft and stall. The first draft is hard. It's messy. It's supposed to be. Full of doubt and dead ends and moments where you think to yourself, this is a terrible idea. Drafting your writing to publication is your bridge. It takes you from a designed framework all the way through to publication-ready manuscripts. It shows you how to use your writing self, your gestational self, and your editing self, navigating the path to getting your work into the world. This course is in development, but that means you'll be among the first to experience it because it launches this year. I'm going to share the journey with you on this channel, my thinking, my process, the framework as it takes shape. So please subscribe because this is going to be something life-changing for you as a writer. If you want to be first on the list when enrollment opens, I will put the link in the description below at that time. But I want to take a step back for a moment and show you how these three courses fit together. They're each standalone. You don't have to do any one of them to do the other, but they do build on one another. So Course 1 gives you the architecture for your nonfiction book. Course 2 gives you the design for your fiction work. And Course 3 takes that design and eventually helps you turn it into a polished, compelling finished manuscript. So from idea to design to finished book. That's the journey I take you on. If you're not sure where to start, download my free guide here, The 5 Secrets to Spellbinding Writing. It's the foundation for everything, the mindset, the voice, the approach that will serve you in any of these courses or all 3. The link is below. If you're ready to design your nonfiction book, the course is open and I would love to have you in it. The same thing with designing your fiction work. You can enroll today. And if you want to be part of the drafting process from the very beginning, to watch it come together in real time and be first in line when it opens, subscribe to this channel and join the wait list. This is a journey that will be indispensable for you and worth every second of your time and energy. Tell me in the comments, are you a nonfiction writer, a fiction writer, or both? I want to know who's here and what you're working on. I'm Dr. Gwyn Erwin. I'm so glad you're here. Subscribe, download the guide, and let's get your book written. This is healing for your life.